Howdy, folks. This is Blue Collar Piper, and I'm back yet again. This time with a video response for Jay, old Dighsx. Yeah. You said you want to hear a funny story, so I got a funny story for you. Back in the day, I want to say mid to late '90s, I was an over-the-road truck driver for a certain company, and I was usually out, two to 2.5 months at a time before I'd ever come home. And if you know anything about truck driving, even back then, you could make really good money at it, but it was very, very lonely. You're never around anyone that you know. It's always around strangers, and it's not one of those places that, it gets really, really lonely. So, one winter I decided I was going to bring a friend along. And, we were up in Milwaukee. We'd stayed the night at the local truck stop just south of Milwaukee. And the objective was to get a load down in Chicago. Now, that's not very far. But the night that we were there in the truck stop, it had dropped feet of snow. But they didn't shut the interstate down. So I got up, knocked all the snow off the truck, and got it warmed up. And whilst I was driving, my buddy was in the sleeper. He was asleep. And the interstate was in really bad shape. So I was doing maybe 20, 25 miles an hour tops, just creeping along nice and slow. And this little red car from out of nowhere, a little sports car, comes whizzing by me, pulls over directly in front of me. He was in the fast lane, I was over the granny lane, pulls in front of me, and starts to slow down. Now, I'm in a rig with about 40,000 pounds of freight on, and there's probably about 3 or 4 inches of packed snow and ice on the road. Well, I started feathering the brakes, start slowing down, and I heard the most god-awful sound. It almost sounded kind of like this, like that. Yeah. So I looked in the rearview mirror and I seen Wiley Sanders' truck line. I said, "Oh crap!" My trailer was coming around. So, needless to say, I was sucking some upholstery up my derriere, and so I let off the brake, gave it a touch of gas, and kind of did one of these wiggle things like this until it straightened out, and just slid over into the hammer lane and just kind of breezed by the red car that had decided to stop in the middle of the interstate. Almost instantly, my bud, who was in the 42-inch little coffin sleeper in the back, came flying through there, out into the cab of the truck, jumped into the seat next to me, looked at me, and he was sheet white. I mean, like every ounce of color was gone in his face. And I glanced over and was like, and he was looking all big-eyed, just like shaking and trembling. I'm like, "Dude, what the hell, man?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. All I know is I was back there in the dark, asleep, and all of a sudden I swore the devil was coming to get me, and I had to come out of there really fast." And that is my funny story.